No man change her diaper. Simple. No, not changing my daughter's diaper. I'm not going back and forth with you about changing my baby's diaper. You're not gonna change her diaper because I said so. It's weird. I don't like it. I feel like it's invading her personal space. You're not changing her diaper. I wouldn't let my sister. I wouldn't let my brother do it. I wouldn't let none of my uncles do it. I wouldn't let none of his uncles do it. I wouldn't let your dad do it. Nobody can no man change her diaper. Simple. No.
Came out of me.
I don't care what she came out of. If I don't want you changing her diaper, I don't want you to. I don't want you seeing her like that anyway. No, that's weird. Why would I let you change her diaper, weirdo?
How?
Like
that? Is weird?
Because you don't even do we have to even go there about why I really don't want you changing her diaper?
By yourself. We both had her together.
Well, it feel like it's just my kid, but like I said, I don't want you changing her diaper, and if that's what I want, then that's just what I want. You won't be changing her diaper, and that's just period.
No, that's weird. You even be thinking like that, doing all that. You just disgusting.
That's not disgusting. You don't even know how to wipe her right.
Hold on. This is some heavy stuff right here. This is a really deep conversation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are people that would agree with her that this is an inappropriate thing. But let's get down to the basics. Let's start at the foundation, because it's real easy to get emotionally invested about this conversation and project outcomes that have not been, substantiated or corroborated at all. So the first thing is, number one, this is not your baby, honey. This is both of you guys' baby. This is your mutual child, okay? So there's a complete difference between letting a random person or an extended family member that is male change your daughter's diaper. So we're not having a conversation around family and extended family and strangers that are men changing your daughter's diaper. We're having a conversation, you're having a conversation about your daughter's father changing her diaper. Now, I don't believe that as the father, this is something that you should necessarily argue about, but I do believe that both parents should be on one accord and have an understanding. I'm not really a fan of the fact that this is what I want, that's it, that's all, period. That's not it, and that's not all, period, because this child is not just yours. You did not make this child by yourself. So if this is a vulnerable conversation with you, if you've suffered some type of trauma, explain it to him, sis. If there's a reason why this makes you uncomfortable beyond the fact that this is a girl and this is your daughter versus he's male and he's her father, you need to say that out loud. Don't have this conversation with the father of your child as if to say you think he would do something crazy. That is very offensive to have that type of conversation. And trust me, not every woman feels that way. A lot of women would consider it helpful to have the father change the diapers or aid in changing the diapers, whether it's a girl or not. If you're having impure thoughts or thoughts that may cause your daughter to be subject to something negative, there's something more in depth to talk about. And even this conversation is not a comfortable one. You seem very offended. You seem like him wanting to know and asking questions and stating this is my child too, which are acceptable arguments to present. They seem to be offending you and causing you to be defensive, which makes me feel as though you have some more in-depth history with why you feel this way than just the fact I don't want you to. And one thing that I noticed about women, and I've been there in those shoes myself, is when you don't want to tap into being vulnerable, you attack things with your hostility or with your aggression or with your defensiveness because you're actually more comfortable dealing with your emotions in that context than you are essentially portraying yourself to be the victim or possibly the weak party in the equation. So you'll say, I don't want it because I just don't want to. And I don't think that that's right. And this is going to happen. This is, that's it. That's all, period. Instead of saying, I'm really uncomfortable with this. I have history with this, or something happened to my cousin, or something happened to my sister, or something happened to me to where I'm uncomfortable with this. Can you support me in us navigating this in a different way? I'm sure he would understand if you would just tell this man the truth instead of talking about it as if it's just your way or the highway. You are not the only parent of this child, and you have to understand that. So even if your argument is, I wouldn't let my dad do it, your dad, my brother, your brother, that's irrelevant, honey, because none of those men are this baby's father. And there are men in this world that actually want to be very hands-on as a father, and there are no chapters and milestones that their child goes through that they don't want to be a part of. So he may be taking this really personally, that you're trying to exclude him from a chapter in his daughter's life, and you're not being detailed and vulnerable in explaining why you feel that way. You just sound like you're trying to run the show and be the boss. And there was a piece where she said, I actually feel like this is my kid. And a lot of women feel that way because of the tight-knit experience that you have with the child growing within your womb. The morning sickness and feeling them kick and all of this, those experiences associated with pregnancy are your own experience. And the father is kind of on the outside looking in of a lot of those experiences. That does not mean this is only your child. I understand the feeling that you are the sole protector of this baby because of that experience. It may feel that way. And I think that's the reason why a lot of women assume the position that it's my job to protect the child. This actually, and exclude the father from that role and protection because of that tether, if you will. But the truth of it is, it's not just your responsibility, because you only contributed half of what it took to create this child. So you can't just alienate him from his child's experiences just because you don't want something to take place. Sometimes you will have to compromise, and sometimes you won't get your way. But in a situation of this nature, where I can feel your energy and your tone, you may be severely uncomfortable because there's a direct experience as to why you're making the assumptions about it being wrong that you're making. So those things need to be told to him, beloved, because it will make it easier for him to support you and understand and not argue with you about it. But if you're just throwing your weight around and beating your chest, it's kind of hard for him to not do the same back, because it's regarding his child as well. Ladies, fellas, tell me what you think in the comments. Me personally, I think this woman has some direct experience with something uncomfortable happening, and that's why she's so persistent, and that's why she's going about it the way that she is. But I honestly think that a man that she could be open with, if she could be open with him about the truth instead of being aggressive and hostile about what he can and can't do in relationship with his child, he will be more inclined to accept that this is just something where he would have to give her a little bit of grace. But because of how she's going about it, it's starting an argument. What would be your take on it? There are some men that I know that don't feel comfortable taking that responsibility on if it's a daughter as well. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.